Hi there, I'm Nischal. So today we're gonna discuss about weathering. Going on to the topic. What is weathering? Weathering can be defined as the process of breakdown of rocks, but not its removal. It can be described as disintegration or decomposition of rocks by natural agents near it. Now that we know weathering, let's discuss the types of it. Weathering is of three types: physical, chemical, and biological. Coming under physical weathering, also known as mechanical weathering, it is divided into three: block disintegration, granular disintegration, and exfoliation. Block disintegration. The sudden rise and fall in temperature causes rapid expansion and contraction, which creates cracks in the rock. Granular disintegration. This is same as block disintegration but further weathers into finer pieces. Exfoliation. During daytime, the cracks and joints of the rocks are filled with water due to rain, which when freezes at night, expanding the cracks further.
Hi, I am Basant from 9th E. So today I am going to explain you about chemical weathering. In chemical weathering, some or all of the minerals in the rocks suffer decay or alteration by such agents as water, oxygen, carbon, or various organic acids. It leads to decomposition of rocks and minerals as chemical reaction transform them into different chemical combinations. Types of chemical weathering. There are four main processes involved in chemical weathering. They are oxidation, carbonation, hydration, solution. Oxidation. It means reaction of minerals in rocks to atmospheric oxygen. The rainwater also contains atmospheric oxygen. On coming in contact with iron compounds in rocks, the iron starts rusting or crumbling. The color of rock also changes to red, yellow, or brown. In this picture, we can notice that rocks are occurred in oxidation process. Carbonation. Many mineral constituents of rocks such as carbon dioxide by coming in contact with water produce acidic effect in rocks. This action dissolves most calcareous rocks such as gypsum, marble and limestone. In the case of carbonation, rainwater converts calcium carbonate into calcium bicarbonate, which is soluble and is taken away by groundwater. In this picture, we can notice that the rocks are occurred in carbonation process. Hydration. In this process, expansion of minerals occurs on coming into contact with rainwater. These minerals become heavy and start disintegrating. This action, though, can be termed as physical or mechanical. Its effect is hydration is a chemical process. Rocks like feldspar are converted into kaolin. In this picture, we can notice that the rocks are in hydration process which are occurred. Solution. This is the process in which minerals in the rocks dissolve in water. All rocks are subjected to solution to some extent. The rate at which solution takes place is affected not only by the mineral composition of the rock but also by its structure. Example, sedimentary rocks have pore spaces between the grains in which air and water can lodge and thus attack the rocks. Some rock minerals such as salts are more soluble in water than others. Example, rainwater causes chemical disintegration of rock salt and gypsum. So in this picture, we can notice that the rocks are occurred in solution process.
Hi everyone, this is Harshad Kumar. I am going to explain about biological weathering. It is also known as organic weathering. Its main agents are animals, insects, plants, and man. In all the cases, however, both physical disintegration and or chemical decomposition are involved. This is because all biological matter is made up of oxygen and water, the two substances that set off reaction of the minerals in rocks. Biological weathering due to roots. Humans. Man is the most active agent of both physical and chemical weathering of rocks. For example, mining excavations cause physical disintegration of rocks. Agriculture, dumping of chemicals and waste underground promote both physical and chemical weathering. Plants. Roots of large trees reach deep into rocks and cause physical disintegration due to pressure. Most of vegetation, however, prevents disintegration of rocks because it binds the surface layer and does not allow exposure of rocks beneath to the elements of weather. Animals and insects. Animals like rabbits, worms, moles, and insects bring surface quantities of fine material to the surface. Burying animals help to loosen the surface materials around the rocks, facilitating their physical disintegration upon death, and decaying animals also provide many chemical acids for rock disintegration.
Good morning, ma'am, and my dear friends. This is Durgashri, and I am going to explain about weathering in different climatic regions.
Weathering in different climatic regions. From the process of weathering discussed above, it is clear that climate is the most important factor. For example, physical weathering is more rapid in desert climates and chemical weathering occurs in moist and cold climates. In equatorial climates, humidity and temperature are constantly high. Weathering, especially chemical weathering, is more active in these regions. In tropical climates, there is a marked dry season and wet season. Differences in heating leads to consistently high rate of evaporation. During wet season, precipitation of oxides of iron and aluminium takes place from rocks. This promotes formation of laterite soils. In dry climates or deserts, mechanical weathering is most dominant due to high diurnal range of temperature. In mid-latitudes or temperature climates, the most powerful agent of weathering is the frost action. In limestone areas, solution or chemical weathering operates on a large scale. In polar climates, physical weathering due to frost action is more prevalent. Chemical and biological weathering in these areas is negligible. However, recent studies have shown that the melting water of polar regions contains more carbonic acid content because carbon dioxide is more soluble at low temperatures than at high temperatures. This suggests that chemical weathering is more active in polar regions.